thanks for joining. People are finally waking up to the idea that Tesla could be the biggest investment opportunity of our generation. And today we're focusing on one key piece of that puzzle, RoboTaxis.
As you can see, I just arrived in the RoboTaxi. The cost of autonomous transport will be so low, you can think of it like individualized mass transit. We'll move from supervised full self-driving to unsupervised full self-driving, where you could fall asleep and wake up at your destination. The vast majority of the time, cars are just doing nothing. So what would happen if you have an autonomous world is that you can now turn parking lots into parks. Something we're also doing is inductive charging. The RoboTaxi just goes over the inductive charger and charges. The Optimus robots will walk among you. And what can it do? It can do anything you want. Oh, and what happens if you need a vehicle bigger than a Model Y? I think it's going to be a glorious future. With that, let's party!
Rage.
RoboTaxi alone could drive upside in Tesla's stock that most people can't even imagine. So to set the stage, we'll start with some of Elon's most bullish RoboTaxi comments, and yeah, they are pretty bold. Then we'll zoom out and ask some key questions like, what does the market look like at maturity? How big is it going to get? And how much of it could Tesla realistically win?
I was going to say doubling down on autonomy, but really it's like autonomy is like 10xing things, frankly. Doubling is not even enough. We made many critical investments in 2024 in manufacturing AI and robotics that will bear immense fruit in the future, immense. Like it's, in fact, to such a scale that it is difficult to comprehend. And I've said this before, and I'll stand by it. I see a path. I'm not saying it's an easy path, but I see a path to Tesla being the most valuable company in the world by far. Not even close. Like maybe several times more than. I mean, there is a path where Tesla is worth more than the next top 5 companies combined. There's a path to that. I mean, I think it's like an incredibly. It's like a difficult path, but it is an achievable path. And that is overwhelmingly due to autonomous vehicles and autonomous humanoid robots, setting up for what I think will be an epic 2026 and a ridiculous 27 and 28. Ridiculously good. That is my prediction. As yet, very few people understand the value of full self-driving and our ability to monetize the fleet. I've some of these things I've said for quite a long time, and I know people have said, well, Elon's the boy who cried wolf like several times, but I'm telling you, there's a damn wolf this time, and you can drive it. In fact, it can drive you. It's a self-driving wolf.
Owning a car is all about freedom, but in reality, it's one of the most expensive and inefficient decisions most people make. You spend tens of thousands on a depreciating asset that sits idle for 95% of the time. You pay for fuel, insurance, maintenance, parking, and the stress and hassle that comes with ownership. We've accepted this for over a century because we didn't have a better option. But now we do. You see, most people don't love their cars. They love what cars give them, the freedom, the convenience, and the control. Tesla RoboTaxi will offer all of that without the burden of ownership. You won't need to drive, you won't need to park, you won't deal with maintenance or insurance. Just press a button and a clean, quiet, self-driving Tesla arrives to take you where you want to go. no commitment, no hassle. And most importantly, it will cost less than owning a car. In 2025, Tesla began rolling out RoboTaxis in cities like Austin and San Francisco. As expected, Tesla is initially pricing RoboTaxi to undercut Uber, which averages around $3 to $4 per mile. Early data suggests Tesla's Austin pricing starts with a base fare of around $1 and then a per mile rate of another $1, so significantly undercutting Uber. Over time, as the fleet scales, we expect Tesla to reduce pricing to below $1 with a target of around 55 cents per mile by 2030 to directly compete with private car ownership. But that's just the beginning. You see, by 2030, RoboTaxis will dominate urban transport. And by 2040, most people simply won't own cars. Not because they're forced to stop, but because owning a car will no longer make financial or practical sense. Let's talk about economics. At scale, Tesla RoboTaxis could operate at just 10 cents to 15 cents per mile in cost, and Tesla could charge 50 to 70 cents per mile, dramatically undercutting car ownership, gas or electric, Uber and Lyft, trains and buses, and even short-haul flights. And because it's safer, faster, cleaner, more convenient and easier, people will switch, just like they switch from DVDs to Netflix, from taxis to Uber, from combustion to electric, from landlines to smartphones. So some people will still own cars. Rural drivers with no RoboTaxi coverage, high mileage commuters, car enthusiasts, the ultra wealthy, people who want to earn by adding their car to the RoboTaxi network. And over time, as Tesla deploys millions of its own Cybercabs and drives the per mile pricing down to undercut private vehicles, I think adding your own car to the fleet will become less attractive. Eventually, most people won't bother with ownership at all. Like horses after the Model T, car ownership will become a niche luxury. So how big is this shift? Well, let's talk about scale. By 2040, the world is projected to drive 73 trillion passenger miles per year. And we estimate that RoboTaxis will serve 60% of this, or about 44 trillion miles. And Tesla? Well, thanks to its unmatched autonomy stack, fleet scale, vertical integration, and AI leadership, we project Tesla will capture 50% of global RoboTaxi miles, roughly 22 trillion miles per year by 2040. You can see, looking at the table, that the biggest market for Tesla is the private car market. Ride-hail is actually very small by comparison. The real volumes come from replacing private car miles. And that's why RoboTaxi must be cheaper than owning a car. So at full scale, Tesla will have 22 trillion miles per year, 60 cents in revenue per mile, 15 cents in cost per mile, that's fully inclusive of all dead miles, and Tesla could generate 13.2 trillion in annual revenue, 11 trillion in gross profit, and over 8 trillion in net income, even after tax and overheads. So even if Tesla only captures half of this, it would still eclipse Apple, Amazon and Google combined. This isn't just a new product, it's a complete rewrite of personal transportation. No car loans, no parking garages, no insurance hassles, no wasted time driving. Transportation becomes a service like electricity or Wi-Fi, instant, on demand, frictionless. Tesla isn't just making cars, it's building the operating system for global mobility. By 2040, Tesla's RoboTaxis won't just replace Uber, they'll replace private cars, buses, trains, and even short flights. And the age of car ownership is ending. The age of autonomous Tesla transport is just beginning.
You know, for a lot of people, they're like their experience of Tesla autonomy is like, if it's even a year old, if it's even 2 years old, it's like meeting someone when they're like a toddler and thinking that they're going to be a toddler forever. But obviously not going to be a toddler forever. They grow up. But if their last experience was like, oh, FSD was a toddler, it's like, well, it's grown up now. Have you seen it? It's like walks and talks. And that's really what we've got. And it's difficult for people to understand this because human intuition is linear, as opposed to what we're seeing is exponential progress. So that's why my number one recommendation for anyone who doubts is simply try it. Have you tried it? When's the last time you tried it? And the only people who are skeptical are those who have not tried it. So, you know, a passenger car typically has only about 10 hours of utility per week out of 168. A very small percentage. Once that car is autonomous, my rough estimate is that it is in use for at least a third of the hours of the week. So call it 50, maybe 55 hours of the week. And it can be used for both cargo delivery and people delivery. So even, let's say, people are asleep, but you can deliver packages in the middle of the night or resupply restaurants or whatever the case may be, whatever people need at all hours of the day or night. That same asset, the thing that is these things that already exist with no incremental cost change, just a software update, now have 5 times or more the utility than they currently have. I think this will be the largest asset value increase in human history. Maybe there's something bigger, but I just don't know what it is. And so people who look in the rearview mirror are looking for past precedent, except I don't think there is one. So, but you know, but the reality of autonomy is upon us. And I repeat my advice: try driving the car, or let it drive you. So now it works very well in the U.S., but of course it will over time work just as well everywhere else.
The global RoboTaxi market is set to be worth trillions of dollars annually. So the big question is, where's the competition? Over the last decade, the world's biggest tech and auto companies have raced to develop self-driving cars, and tens of billions of dollars have been poured into the space. But what do they have to show for it? Well, most have crashed out or fallen far behind. From Apple to Uber, from Ford to Baidu, many contenders once looked strong, but the RoboTaxi challenge has proven far tougher than they expected. In this video, we'll break down the global competitive landscape from China's cutthroat EV market to America's lagging contenders, and show you why Tesla is the only one in a position to dominate. Self-driving cars were once Silicon Valley's holy grail. They attracted massive capital and promised to reshape how we live and move, but the hype didn't match reality. So let's look at some of the casualties. Apple scrapped its EV project in 2024 after spending over $10 billion and wasting 10 years. Uber sold its self-driving unit to Aurora back in 2020. Cruise, which was owned by GM and Honda, suspended operations in 2023 after serious safety concerns. And Argo AI, funded by Ford and Volkswagen, shut down in 2022, burning billions. And even those still in the race, they're barely clinging on. Meanwhile, Tesla has delivered 8 million vehicles since inception, and by mid-2025, around 7.5 million are still in operation, including 1.5 million equipped with hardware 4, which is needed for full self-driving. Elon Musk tweeted in 2022, "They have no idea how hard FSD is. Only path to success, in my opinion, is hardcore real-world AI software with dedicated neural net, inference acceleration ASICs in-car, multi-billion-dollar neural net training supercluster, and 10 billion miles of vehicle data. Good luck. See, this isn't just about software, it's about building an entire ecosystem. You need AI chips in every car. You need a neural net supercomputer. You need billions of real-world miles. You need a profitable global manufacturing backbone. And no one has all of this. Now, let's go over to China, which produces 58% of global EVs and leads in autonomous tech. Baidu's Apollo Go had 1 million RoboTaxi rides by 2022 across 16 different cities. Pony AI, WeRide and AutoX are active in major hubs like Shenzhen. And Xiaopeng, NIO and BYD pushed level 2 and level 3 autonomy, with Xiaopeng's XNGP system rivaling Tesla's FSD in some urban scenarios. But not all is well. GUA, a Baidu and Geely joint venture, went bankrupt in 2025, crushed by Tesla's scale and BYD's brutal price war, with EVs like the Seagull under $10,000. Tesla's approach is fundamentally different. While Chinese companies rely on geofence LiDAR-based systems, Tesla's vision-only software navigates anywhere using just cameras. This makes it more flexible and scalable. Baidu and Xiaopeng are testing vision-only, but they're not commercially ready yet. In 2024, Tesla got FSD approval in China with help from Baidu's mapping division, launching limited RoboTaxi services in 2025. And decar tests from ByteDance show Tesla outperforming Chinese rivals, especially on highways. But in the US, it's a similar story. The field has narrowed significantly. Waymo is probably the dominant player. They are owned by Google, and they operate 1,500 RoboTaxis across 5 cities. But they use LiDAR-heavy geofence systems, and they've got partnerships with Hyundai and Zeekr, and it's far behind Tesla's 15 billion plus miles of data. Online clips show Waymo cars freezing up, highlighting the limitations of multi-sensor setups. And Aura focuses on trucking and ride-hailing, but has no RoboTaxi fleet. Uber and Lyft gave up on in-house FSD and now rely on external partners like Waymo, Lucid and Motional. And Tesla, by contrast, took the bold step of ditching radar in 2021, claiming it confused the system. Vision only is the only simpler and cheaper, more scalable solution. Musk said anyone relying on LiDAR is doomed.
LiDAR is a fool's errand, and anyone relying on LiDAR is doomed. Doomed. Expensive sensors that are unnecessary. It's like having a whole bunch of expensive appendices. Like one appendix is bad, well, now they want to put a whole bunch of them. I don't actually super hate LiDAR as much as it may sound. SpaceX Dragon uses LiDAR to navigate to the space station and dock. Not only that, SpaceX developed its own LiDAR from scratch to do that, and I spearheaded that effort personally. Because in that scenario, LiDAR makes sense. And in cars, it's friggin' stupid. It's expensive and unnecessary. Once you solve vision, it's worthless.
And he's probably going to be proved right. Waymo's LiDAR units cost $4,000 each, while Tesla's cameras suite is far more efficient.
The issue with Waymo's cars is they cost way more money. The cars are very expensive, made in low volume. Teslas are, I don't know, probably cost a quarter or 20% of what a Waymo costs, and made in very high volume. Like we're the ones that made the bet that a pure AI solution with cameras and audio, the car actually will listen for sirens and that kind of thing, is the right move. And Waymo decided that an expensive sensor suite is the way to go, even though Google's very good at AI. It's ironic. And it is worth noting that Tesla's built an incredible AI software team and AI hardware chip design team from scratch, from nothing. We didn't acquire anyone. We just built it.
So what would it take to compete with Tesla? Well, they've got a huge moat. You'd need to build a low-cost, purpose-built EV like Tesla's Cybercab, expected in 2027, possibly 2026 at under $25,000. Create a vertically integrated unboxed production system, manufacture millions of cars profitably, even during a global price war, develop a vision-only AI stack, ditching expensive LiDAR, and train it using billions of real-world miles. And then launch a global fleet with sub 2-minute wait times and rides cheaper than Uber. See, this is a moonshot, and no one else is close. So Tesla's advantage is built on 5 massive moats. They've got fleet readiness. They've got 7.5 million vehicles already on the road. 1.5 million are FSD ready, and 4 million on hardware 3 that could be upgraded. They've got a data advantage, 15 billion miles of training data. Waymo's got 100,000 and Baidu even less. They have Dojo supercomputer. Tesla's custom AI chips train neural networks faster and cheaper than GPU-based rivals. They've got low-cost cars. The Cybercab is a low-cost, super-efficient car, purpose-built for RoboTaxi market with no steering wheel or pedals and a next-generation manufacturing process that could reduce cycle times down to 5 seconds. And they've got end-to-end integration. Tesla controls batteries, chips, software and factories with 2.3 million units in their annual production capacity already in Fremont, Shanghai, Berlin and Texas. And they've got future plans. The Mexico Gigafactory, which is currently paused due to the 25% US tariffs, but new factories in Asia and India could add another 2 to 3 million units by 2030. See, no rival, Waymo, Baidu, Xiaopeng, Neo, has all 5 modes, not even close. Now, there is going to be a tipping point when ownership just simply dies because people don't necessarily want to own cars, they want the mobility. And Tesla will offer 50 cents per mile pricing. You know, compared that to $12 per mile in some markets. You've got no hassle with maintenance or insurance or depreciation. And here's the kicker, technology is evolving so fast that you buy a car one day and the next day it feels obsolete. Take for example Tesla, they have got hardware 4 today, but they'll have hardware 5 in 2026 and they've got 4 million cars on hardware 3 that need an upgrade in order to have full self-driving. See, RoboTaxi solves this. You don't ever need to own the tech and you don't get trapped with outdated tech. So we think that by the late 2020s, Tesla could take 80% of the Western RoboTaxi market, and it will expand across dozens of cities with profitable fleets. And then through the 2030s, as new gigafactories in Asia and India will increase capacity to say 5-6 million units a year, they will cut costs to compete with private car ownership. And they will make RoboTaxis unbeatable. Once rides are cheaper than ownership, a tipping point hits. People sell their cars, they stop buying new ones, they avoid getting stuck with orphaned hardware like hardware 3. And by 2040, we estimate that 60% of all passenger miles will be via RoboTaxis. Tesla could capture 50% of that, or 23 trillion miles annually. The mobility revolution, you have to ask yourself, why do you want to own a car? 95% of the time it sits on your drive doing nothing. If Tesla monopolises the West and scales globally, it doesn't just compete, it replaces traditional transport. Cars, taxis, trains, buses, even flights. And this isn't just exciting, it's the biggest mobility revolution of the century.
The thing about being an autonomous car is that it can be used much more than a car that is not autonomous. A typical passenger vehicle car will be used about 10 hours a week. So people might use it for an hour and a half a day on average for 7 days, which is about 10 hours a week. But there are 168 hours in a week. So if you have a car that's a robot car that can drive autonomously, it can now be used potentially for 80, maybe 100 hours in a week. So you could have a car that has 10 times the usefulness of a non-autonomous car, but it still costs the same. In fact, the fleets are already built. So the software update just enables that capability. Overnight, you have an increase in usefulness of 10 million cars that suddenly become like 50 million cars, or maybe 80 or 100 million cars of usefulness overnight. That's a profound thing. Like nothing like that has ever happened before. There's never been something where a software update increased the value of a gigantic asset base by a factor of like 500 to 1,000%. So it's very difficult for people in the stock market, especially those that look in the rearview mirror, which is most people, to imagine a future where suddenly a 10 million vehicle fleet has 5 to 10 times the usefulness. It's so profound, and there's no comparison with anything in the past that they just can't. It does not compute, but it will compute in the future. And some people like Kathy Wood at ARK Invest do see the future. So what I'm saying is hang on to your stock. So.
Tesla's Cybercab, unveiled at the We Robot event on October the 10th, 2024, is a fully autonomous electric robotaxi poised to redefine urban transportation. By leveraging Tesla's innovative unbox manufacturing process and advanced full self-driving technology, the Cybercab delivers unparalleled cost efficiency and scalability, setting the stage to disrupt the traditional ride-sharing and car ownership market. The Cybercab is built using Tesla's new next-generation unbox manufacturing process, which assembles the vehicle's body, electronics, and interior modules in parallel before integrating them. This modular approach eliminates the inefficiencies of traditional linear assembly lines, reducing factory footprint and cutting production costs by approximately 30%.
With the Cybercab, we're going to be. Cybercab is not just revolutionary car design; it's also a revolutionary manufacturing process. So I guess we probably don't talk about that enough. But if you've seen the design of the Cybercab line, it doesn't look like a normal car manufacturing line. It looks like a really high-speed consumer electronics line. It's, in fact, the line will move so fast that that actually people can't even get close to it. Like that's, I think it'll be able to produce a car ultimately in less than 5 seconds. Like, can you imagine a car coming off the line in less than 5 seconds? That's like, whoa.
This is a profound reimagining of how to make cars in the first place. No car is made like this anywhere in the world. The factory is the product as much as the car is the product. So it's really just the first principles approach to manufacturing that will ultimately allow us, I think, I'm confident ultimately it'll allow us to achieve a cycle time, meaning a unit every 5 seconds or less. We think we're the fastest at 33 seconds in our Shanghai factory, but this would be 6 times faster or 7 times faster thereabouts. When you fully optimize the design and operation of the next generation factory that we're building right now, a 5-second cycle time or less is the design is capable of it. The autonomous line, it really just needs to be robust, moving really fast, and that's where you get to sub 5 seconds. The potential is there over time to move that up to an A+ within an A+ architecture.
Instead of costly paint shops, Tesla uses pre-coloured sheet moulding composite panels, which are lighter, more durable and faster to produce, further lowering costs and enhancing vehicle efficiency. Tesla's vehicle integration includes in-house production of the 4680 battery cells at its gigafactories, reducing battery manufacturing costs to around $80 per kilowatt hour, a 20% saving compared to industry averages. This contributes to a target Cybercab production cost below $25,000, with Tesla aiming for a $15,000 by 2028 as the economies of scale mature. Tesla projects a production time of one Cybercab every 5 seconds once the process is mature, which means millions of units could be produced annually from a single facility. This target underscores its ambition to scale rapidly and efficiently. The Cybercab's model could achieve a total cost per mile of 10 cents per mile at scale, with an effective operating cost per mile of 15 cents per mile when factoring in non-chargeable miles, making it a game changer in the ride-sharing market. Unlike traditional vehicles where battery costs affect manufacturing, the Cybercab's electricity consumption is optimised for efficiency, not directly tied to battery production costs. The Cybercab achieves around 5.5 miles per kilowatt hour, leveraging its lightweight design and efficient electric powertrain. Future innovations such as wireless inductive and automated fleet management, potentially enhanced by Tesla's Optimus robots for cleaning and maintenance, will further optimise costs. As FSD matures, insurance costs could drop to 1 cent per mile due to reduced accident risks, supported by Tesla's extensive real-world driving data. The Cybercab is a compact two-seat RoboTaxi with no steering wheel or pedals, featuring butterfly wing doors and a minimalist interior with a large central touchscreen for passenger interaction. Powered by Tesla's FSD software, it relies on a vision-based system using vision-only cameras, avoiding costly LiDAR, radar and ultrasound used by many competitors. Trained on billions of miles of driving data, Tesla's neural networks enable the Cybercab to navigate complex urban environments reliably. Its estimated range of 200 to 250 miles based on Tesla's Model 3 and Y benchmarks support urban operations with access to Tesla's supercharger network and future wireless charging solutions. According to the June 2025 OBI report, the average price per mile for Uber and Waymo in 3 major cities was $12 per mile. The Cybercab's 15 cent per mile operating costs enable fares as low as 50 to 60 cents per mile, undercutting traditional taxis, which are normally $2 to $3 per mile, ride-sharing services, and even car ownership at around 50 cents per mile. This affordability positions Tesla to capture significant market share in the $1 to $2 trillion market projected by 2030. By 2040, the Cybercab is expected to disrupt car ownership, with 60% of global passenger miles travelled in RoboTaxis. This shift will reduce the need for private vehicles, free up urban space by minimising parking infrastructure, cut transportation-related emissions by 20 to 30% in cities. The Cybercab's scalability and low costs will accelerate the transition to a mobility as a service, reshaping urban planning and challenging traditional automotive business models. The Cybercab's success hinges on navigating regulatory hurdles for level 5 autonomy, scaling charging infrastructure including wireless solutions, and building public trust in driverless technology. While Tesla's supercharger network provides a foundation, urban charging hubs and maintenance systems must expand to support massive fleets. But in conclusion, Tesla's Cybercab combines revolutionary manufacturing, autonomous technology, and operational efficiency to redefine mobility. With a target production cost below $25,000, an ambitious 5-second cycle time, operating costs of 15 cents per mile, it sets a new standard for affordability and scalability. By crushing ride scaling costs and driving the shift towards robotaxis, the Cybercab is poised to transform urban transportation, reduce car ownership, and pave the way for a sustainable, autonomous future.
Getting the regulatory permission to launch in the Bay Area, Nevada, Arizona, and Florida, and a number of other places. So as we get the approvals and we prove out safety, then we'll be launching autonomous ride-hailing in most of the country. And I think we'll probably have autonomous ride-hailing in probably half the population of the U.S. by the end of the year. That's at least our goal, subject to regulatory approvals. I think we'll technically be able to do it. So, assuming we get regulatory approvals, it's probably addressing half the population of the U.S. by the end of the year. But we are being very cautious. We don't want to take any chances, and so we're gonna go cautiously. But the service areas and the number of vehicles in operation will increase at a hyper exponential rate.
Tesla isn't just reinventing the car, it's building an entirely new category, AI hardware for the physical world. While most people still see Tesla as an EV company, it's rapidly evolving into something much bigger. At the core, this shift are 3 custom designed chips, the AI4, AI5 and AI6, developed to power everything from full self-driving to humanoid robotics. AI4, built by Samsung, currently runs Tesla's FSD software in real time, balancing efficiency and performance. AI5, designed by Tesla and fabricated by TSMC, marks a huge leap in computing power and is already moving into production. But it's AI6 that signals Tesla's long-term strategy. Samsung is constructing a new chip fabrication facility in Texas, just down the road from Giga, Texas, custom built to produce these next-generation chips with Elon Musk personally involved in optimizing the production line. This isn't just about hardware, it's about control. Tesla has locked in a 16.5 billion chip deal with Samsung, with projections it could grow beyond 30 billion by the end of the decade. These aren't off-the-shelf orders, they're strategic partnerships that give Tesla unprecedented influence over chip design, performance and delivery timelines. By co-locating fabs and factories, Tesla can dramatically shorten the cycle between design, iteration and deployment, giving it a massive edge in scaling both RoboTaxi and Optimus, its humanoid robot, which aims to produce at a rate of 1 million units per year. And with Tesla playing TSMC and Samsung off each other, it's securing better pricing, more innovation and deeper integration than any other automaker or even AI company can match. Wall Street is starting to notice. Morgan Stanley now sees Tesla as their top AI and autonomy pick, not because of its EVs, but because of its vertically integrated AI platform. And vision is clear. Tesla is building the full stack of real-world AI, from custom chips to neural networks, all the way to physical deployment. And it's doing so, it's not just chasing NVIDIA, it's building something even bigger.
Our Q4 vehicle safety report shows continued year-over-year improvement in safety for vehicles. So the safety numbers, if somebody has supervised full self-driving turned on or not, the safety differences are gigantic. And people have seen the immense improvement with version 13 and with incremental versions in version 13. And then version 14 is going to be yet another step beyond that is very significant. We launched the Cortex training cluster at Gigafactory Austin, which was a significant contributor to FSD advancement. And we continue to invest in training infrastructure at our Texas headquarters.
Beyond the obvious point that RoboTaxis save significant amounts of money as they don't need a driver, let's break down how Tesla's Cybercab could drive down costs to just 10 cents per mile by the early 2030s. Now, this isn't a number that Tesla has published. It's actually one that I've modelled based on their breakthroughs in manufacturing, energy, AI, and vertical integration, and also automation. So the categories that drive cost per mile are including energy, which is broken down to the efficiency of the vehicle as well as the cost to generate the electricity, depreciation, maintenance, and fleet operations and overhead. So taking energy first, Cybercab will be one of the most energy efficient vehicles ever built. achieving over 5 miles per kilowatt hour. Now that's made possible by 3 key innovations. First of all, the 4680 battery pack is actually structural. Tesla 4680 cells offer high energy density up to 300 watt hours per kilogram and a tabless architecture. Built into the car's structure, the battery replaces the floor, which cuts out weight, and gigacasting and compact design also contribute to a lighter, more efficient vehicle. The Cybercab also has optimized aerodynamics and is likely to have a drag coefficient under 0.23, similar to the Model 3, with a streamlined shape built for energy efficiency at city and highway speeds. And then finally, the ultra-efficient powertrain. Tesla uses a silicon carbide inverter and permanent magnet motors to hit over 95% efficiency, with smart thermal management and torque control minimizing energy waste. All of that delivers an energy use of about 0.2 kilowatt hours per mile, and thanks to Tesla's vertically integrated energy ecosystem, using cheap solar, grid arbitrage and battery storage, electricity can cost 10 cents per kilowatt hour or less, meaning under 2 cents per mile in energy costs. Now let's talk about energy independence, because we think over time Tesla will become completely energy independent by generating all of their own power from massive solar farms and using megapacks to buy energy cheaply off the grid at night and use it during the day. So solar installations are already scaling. There is the Oasis supercharger, which is in California, which is 100% off grid, and it's powered by 11 megawatts of solar and megapacks. And we think this will be the template for all charging stations in the future. And there's also a hint from Elon that there could be a future solar gigafactory, which would mean lower costs, energy independence, and even more marginal control. And at scale, this integrated model allows Tesla to lock in energy costs well below 2 cents per mile. So next, let's take a look at depreciation. Tesla's next generation unbox manufacturing process revolutionizes car production. Instead of a moving assembly line, Cybercab modules are built in parallel, then joined right at the end. And that cuts out factory footprint by up to 40%. There's 30 to 40% less labour, and cost per vehicle is dramatically reduced. Now, with AI quality control, robotics and supply chain integration, Cybercab could cost just $15,000 to build once it's at scale in the 2030s. The 4680 battery is also key to low-cost manufacturing. It's the heart of cost efficiency. Tesla's 4680 battery cells use dry coating, no tabs and vertical integration from raw materials to finished packs. And a 50 kilowatt hour pack at $50 per kilowatt hour equals a $2,500 battery cost, and that delivers 5 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, research by Jeff Dan suggests the 4680 battery could last well over 2 million miles or 10 to 15,000 charge cycles. And because of that long lifespan and the ultra low cost of manufacturing, depreciation just drops to 2 cents per mile or even lower. And maintenance is another area that Cybercab is going to be designed to almost need no maintenance. Obviously, with an electric vehicle, you don't have any oil changes or exhaust systems, and you do have regenerative braking, which obviously reduces brake pad wear. And Dojo-powered predictive maintenance will spot issues before they fail. And we think Optimus robots will handle cleaning and basic servicing like wiper changes and tyre swaps. But tyres are going to be the big area for maintenance costs. But we think Cybercabs will drive very efficiently using AI, which will avoid hard acceleration and braking. And they'll also be aerodynamic and lightweight, all of which significantly reduces tyre stress. And over time, we think Tesla can equip Cybercabs with an EV-specific tyre that will last over 60,000 miles per set. Now here's where scale helps, because Tesla could easily buy a tyre manufacturer or negotiate near-cost pricing, and that would bring a set of 4 tyres down to around $200 or possibly even less. And at 60,000 miles per set, that's just 0.37 cents per mile. Not 37 cents per mile, but less than half a cent per mile. And with robotic tyre installation using Optimus and automation, installation costs fall to just a few dollars per set. So all in, tyre costs stay well within the 2 cents per mile maintenance budget. Now we also think that the whole of the fleet is going to be managed by AI, and Cybercab software will do most of the work. Dojo and FSD will handle routing, dispatch and customer experience. Dynamic navigation will cut trip time and energy use. And Tesla will use AI to monitor fleets and ensure there are no operational issues. And over time, this is likely to become fully automated. Insurance will be provided by Tesla, and ongoing advances in FSD over time will make collisions that are Tesla's fault almost unheard of. And combine that with all of the onboard monitoring, the usage of cameras and data logs, it will all help AI and help Tesla defend any lawsuits, slashing insurance costs for both accidents and vandalism. And we also think Optimus and custom robots will be used extensively to handle cleaning, tyre swaps and diagnostics with automated charging using Tesla's drive-over induction charging technology. So when you look at what this looks like at full scale and at a mature automation, it's easy to see that Tesla could reduce its long-term cost per mile to under 10 cents per mile. Now this won't happen overnight, but rather over the coming years as Tesla scales up its fleet and invests heavily in end-to-end automation. And this isn't science fiction. The tech, from the unboxed manufacturing process, the solar-powered megapack charging, the robotic servicing and AI fleet control is all ready here, or it's going to almost certainly going to come. And by the early 2030s, Tesla won't just make cars. They'll run the cheapest, cleanest, most efficient transportation network on Earth, powered by the sun, optimized by AI, and delivered for a tenth of today's ride-hail.
I don't see anyone being able to compete with Tesla at present. I'm sure that'll change eventually. But at least as far as I'm aware, Tesla will have, I don't know, 99% market share or something ridiculous. A few years we'll have 10 million autonomous cars on the roads, then, you know, and counting.
We've seen in this video how Tesla's RoboTaxi is likely to completely redefine transportation, and the numbers are wild. Elon Musk says Optimus and RoboTaxi together could push Tesla to a $20 to $30 trillion valuation. Let's have a listen.
From a Tesla stock standpoint, I think stock with autonomous cars and especially with Optimus, it does go to sort of crazy levels. I'd always recommend like looking at Cathy Wood and ARK Invest's analysis. They've been right in the past, and I think they're right this time. And again, with a lot of difficult execution, I think people out there said, well, Tesla's valuation could be 25 trillion. And I think that's probably correct if we execute well on autonomous transport and Optimus. It actually does get to a $20 to $30 trillion valuation. So that's 20 to 30 times what it is today.
Now, based on what you've just seen, RoboTaxi alone could go much, much higher. And here's how. Tesla will slash costs, we think, to 10 to 15 cents per mile using Cybercab's unboxed manufacturing, in-house highly efficient batteries, full stack AI and end-to-end automation, and even robotic cleaning. In our 2030 model, we estimate total global passenger miles will reach around 46 trillion miles, with autonomous ride-hailing capturing 5 to 6% of that. Now that's driven by pricing designed to undercut the cost of private car ownership. Given Tesla's significant lead in AI, data and vertically integrated EV production, we project the company will command around 44% of the global RoboTaxi market, including 80% share in the US, with a 25% in China, where there will be much higher competition. That translates to 1.8 trillion chargeable miles served by Tesla, generating around 800 billion in annual profits. Now, if you apply a PE ratio of that of around 60, we estimate Tesla's RoboTaxi business alone could be worth around 48 trillion or around $15,000 per share by 2030. By 2040, we model the global passenger transport market reaching 73 trillion miles, with robotaxis dominating across nearly all geographies, replacing not only personal cars and taxis, but also trains, buses and short-haul flights of an hour or less. Now, we estimate autonomous taxis will serve 60% of all global passenger miles within Tesla's key markets. And Tesla, we think, will capture 50% of those miles. Again, in markets like China, where there's increased domestic competition, we think the Tesla's share will be around 25%. But this all implies $6.5 trillion in annual profit for Tesla's RoboTaxi. And if you apply a lower PE ratio of around 35 and factor in a 2% annual share buyback from 2030, which reduces the outstanding shares to around 2.5 billion, we project a 2040 Tesla share price of almost $90,000 with a market cap of 230 trillion from RoboTaxi alone. And this sounds crazy, but no one else can scale like Tesla. Full self-driving is brutally hard. Big tech and legacy auto have all tried and failed. Tesla's lead in AI, data and manufacturing gives it a fortress advantage, and their scale slashes costs and wait times, making RoboTaxi the go-to transport option. And by flooding markets with low-cost rides, Tesla could make car ownership obsolete, crushing competitors who simply can't keep up. And even stronger players in China, they might dominate locally, but Tesla's going global. This isn't just about cars. Tesla's building a transportation utility with software-like margins and AI dominance. And obviously, you can't bank on these numbers. They are extreme, but it would take a brave person to bet against Tesla dominating global robotaxis in the future, given their current lead. We'll be monitoring the landscape carefully and create more refined videos based on your feedback and comments. But although these projections are wild, it doesn't include the worldwide logistics and delivery arm, which we think Tesla will launch once it has FSD approved on Tesla semis and robovans, which will add trillions more to the valuation. And Optimus robots are another huge source of growth. And in future videos, we'll look at all the major business streams, including energy and vehicle sales, to determine an overall valuation for Tesla. The question is, can anyone stop them? Well, that's really a subjective question. I'd love to hear your comments. So please drop your comments, smash the like button, and subscribe for more bold breakdowns of Tesla, tech, and the AI-driven future. RoboTaxi is coming, and Tesla is in the driver's seat.
Tesla will have, I don't know, 90
9% market share or something ridiculous.
Ridiculously good. There is no company in the world that is as good at real world AI as Tesla. I don't even know who's in second place. Like, you say, like, who's in second place for real world AI? I would need a very big telescope to see them. That's how far behind they are. Autonomy is like 10xing things, frankly. Doubling is not even enough. We made many critical investments in 2024 in manufacturing AI and robotics that will bear immense fruit in the future. Immense. Like, it's, in fact, to such a scale that it is difficult to comprehend. You know, as yet, very few people understand the value of full self-driving and our ability to monetize the fleet. You know, I've some of these things I've said for quite a long time, and I know people have said, well, you know, Elon's the boy who cried wolf like several times, but I'm telling you, there's a damn wolf this time, and you can drive it. In fact, it can drive you. It's a self-driving wolf.
And 5 years from now, autonomous cars are going to be everywhere. Primarily going to be Teslas, by the way. But autonomous Teslas will be everywhere. And I think in 5 years, probably we'll have regulatory approval, I think, globally. So you'll have autonomous Teslas on every continent, taking people on trips, and almost the entire fleet, which will pass 10 million vehicles next year, is capable of full autonomy. So even without the Cybercab, we still actually have a gigantic fleet that is capable of being autonomous. And some people like Kathy Wood at ARK Invest do see the future. So what I'm saying is hang on to your stock. So.
It's not just our models pointing to eye-watering returns from Tesla's RoboTaxi future. Some of the most respected independent analysts are reaching similarly staggering conclusions. Take James Milani of Invest Answers, a former hedge fund manager known for conservative data-driven modelling. In his conservative, sandbagged RoboTaxi-only scenario, James projects Tesla stock could hit $73,000 by 2035 purely from autonomous ride-hailing RoboTaxi.
Cast your eyes on those two colors, orange and green. Orange is RoboTaxi. Green is the Optimus humanoid robot. Okay? Those two alone. You can see the rest disappears. Even energy, which would be a huge business, it becomes zero after 2031, 2032. When you take into account Kathy Wood, she believes the RoboTaxi alone will be worth about $2,700, $2,800 by 2029. We have 699 here for RoboTaxi, like a quarter of what she has. So bear that in mind. Again, this is what I mean by sandbagged. Kathy Wood is a legend, but our sandbag, Sharon and I, is a quarter of her target. So if you think these numbers are ridiculous, go check out some of the others too.
Now, that's not too far from our own 89,000 target by 2040, showing our projection may not be as outlandish as it sounds. And that's just from RoboTaxi. In the very same model, James estimates Tesla could reach $200,000 per share by 2035 once you factor in Optimus and Tesla's broader ecosystem. So the key takeaway, well, when a cautious analyst like Invest Answers sees $73,000, comparable to our $120,000 target, it reinforces the idea that Tesla's current $300 valuation offers rare asymmetric upside. So final thoughts and what comes next. Well, everything we've shown today is based solely on Tesla's RoboTaxi business. We haven't even touched a whole raft of different businesses. Tesla Logistics, which we believe is a natural model for Tesla once the Semi is approved for FSD, coupled with an Optimus and Robovan delivery service. And then you have vehicle sales in a fully autonomous world. And Tesla Energy, which is already a fast-growing 10 billion plus business. Or the upcoming affordable model and launch in India. all of which dramatically expand Tesla's addressable market. But the biggest emission is Optimus, Tesla's humanoid robot. In our next video, we'll ask, is Invest Answer's 200,000 Tesla forecast by 2035 realistic when you combine RoboTaxi, Optimus and Tesla Energy? If you found this valuable, help us reach more forward-thinking investors. Please like, comment and share to wake up the algorithm. And remember, this is just RoboTaxis. No energy, no Optimus, no Robovan, no semi, no car sales, nothing that's in the hopper. And in short, this is a deep dive of how just one part of Tesla's business could transform your financial future and help you retire early through life-changing returns. And this isn't hype. Smart investors are already running the numbers, and the upside is staggering. So, quick disclaimer from me, this is not financial advice. If you do care about building wealth and spotting megatrends early, you're in the right place. All of our videos are designed to maximize your knowledge in the fastest possible time. So we cut out all the fluff and we just get straight to the meat. So, if you do get value from this video, you'd like us to make more like this, please like, subscribe, drop a comment, share it with your friends and family. Just make loads of noise to tell the algorithm to share it as widely as possible. My name is Tom. Just as a quick introduction, I'm the founder of TSLA Proxy. We're the world's first Tesla treasury company. We're currently in a startup phase, gearing up for a crowdfunding and a public listing. And yes, we hold Tesla stock directly on our balance sheet. So think MicroStrategy playbook, but we invest in Tesla instead of Bitcoin to provide people with leveraged exposure without the high fees or time decay of leveraged ETFs.
There is no company in the world that is as good at real world AI as Tesla. I don't even know who's in second place. You say who's in second place for real world AI? I would need a very big telescope to see them. That's how far behind they are.
Just hang on to your stock. So,
together, we're building a smarter, wealthier future. Thanks so much for watching. Please share your own views in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.